Hi everybody and welcome to the third Art Journal watch along video for December. This week in today's video I should say, I'm making more of the faster designs because Christmas is upon us and who has time to do a lot of artwork for hours and hours? Pretty much nobody, right? So I decided I didn't do a lot of paper piecing lately, so I wanted to go for that. And what better to use than my collection of Christmassy or wintry pattern papers. So I'm starting by gluing the background layer to my art journal page using just a normal paper glue there, nothing fancy. But since I'm not using cardboard but only paper, it will hold everything in place and the adhesive is definitely strong enough. So I'm starting off with the red, white, green and brown striped paper. I think it's very busy but still very lovely. And usually that wouldn't be the background paper of my choice, but I like more of the calmer ones, but I thought, well, let's see what I can do with that. Maybe I can make it work. And I guess in the end, I was happy enough with the outcome. So I would say, yeah, I made the background work. I'm just cutting up the excess and give the page a couple of minutes to dry before I start with the new layers. So I do have this stencil here that has a pine tree on it, and it's not a pine tree, what's it called? Well, the Christmas tree, let's call it Christmas tree, right? And I did choose two different green pattern papers, one with a Scottish plaid on it, like a tartan piece, and one just with some dots. And they're both dark green, and on one of them I'm drawing two of those trees, on the other one just one tree, because odd numbers are feeling more natural to the eye. So when you have multiple items on a page that are pretty much the same, I recommend going for odd numbers. It just feels more natural. So I'm going for 3, and once I have them outlined on the respective pattern paper, I'm just going to cut them out with my craft scissors. While you can see me do that, I'm checking on the internet what that goddamn tree's name is in English, and I shouldn't use the naughty words. Let me see. I knew it last week because I did look it up last week and I forgot already. So instead of a snowbank, I went with this wooden pattern paper here. That will be the earth, the ground where the trees are standing on. And I'm going for 2 layers, one with a very dark brown and one with the medium brown tone. Again, still searching for the name. And drum roll, fir tree. At least that's what my trusty dictionary says. So these are the trees that I'm going to cut once I do have my landscape, hills or snowbank, whatever you see in these 2 brown strips. Once that's done, I'm going to cut the trees. I really like this kind of making artwork where you don't have ink or color all over your fingers. It's more of a clean way to do artwork, but again, I'm not doing the paper piecing very often. I'm more thrilled to paint or to draw something, so once in a while I feel it's almost like a challenge or a treat or something. This kind of artwork is something that I don't do often, but I like doing it. It's just not my go-to method or my natural. It doesn't pull me in. Like if you gave me a stack of crafty things that I could do artwork with, I would probably not go for paper piecing or making a design with paper only. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go there first. I would go to colors and brushes and pens and whatnot. So I think this week this is something of well, it's a mixture between, hey, this is a treat and I don't do that very often, so I want to try something new. I want to do something with that kind of a technique. Also, I don't want to have to clean up my studio again, and I want something quick. So what am I going to do? So this is pretty much what gave me the push to do this page particularly. It's not the fastest design I ever made, and it's not the fastest design in December. Because by the day I'm voicing this over, I do have all of my art journal pages done. So I know what's coming up. And let me tell you, there will be shorter real-time videos coming up the next day. So I did some faster art journal designs, but again, this is a nice way of crafting. You can even already have the nail polish for Christmas Eve on, or for any other party that you're going to, and you can do some art stuff and your fingers will look lovely afterwards still. So that's something nice, which is, by the way, just a little weird and so not important information. I really like comic-y fingernails, so I love to paint comics on my fingernails, but if I'm painting or crafting all day, I don't want to wear gloves to protect the design, and I don't want to screw it up either. So I'm not doing that kind of art very often. I was doing that a lot about 2 years ago, but yeah, not anymore. It's just business, business, business. Always have to paint something, always have to craft something. So I can't have pretty nails. Anyway, back to the design. I thought only green trees were kind of boring, so I decided to draw another one of these fir trees to a light cream paper with some red dots on it. So the other two trees, they do look alike pretty much because they have the same green tone, and I wanted something to stand out. And even having one of the dark green trees extra, the other one, the one with the Scottish tartan pattern, wouldn't stand out enough, at least not for me. So that's why I decided to only have 2 green trees and then add one with a totally different color, cream in my case, just to make it pop and to have the attention to that particular tree and to have it used well, like the focal point of the design. So I'm also cutting one of the cream colored ornaments there on the lower left hand side of the screen, and this will be just one other object on the page where I can put my sentiment on. Before I glue everything down though, I'm arranging all of the items and see if I like it, and then I do glue things down to the page. And so far I really like it, and I'm amazed that the really heavily busy background pattern paper is not screwing things up. All the papers that I put on top are quite calm, so they don't have any big pattern and they don't have any crazy colors, so they calm the page down quite a bit. But still, I was, well, not afraid, but concerned that the busy background paper could just be too much. But it turned out it was just fine, at least for my taste. So, learn something there, which is do the crazy stuff sometimes and trust that everything will work out the way you imagine it to be in the end. So, really like that. I'm just gluing down all of the items, starting with the tree that is supposed to be in the background and then going with the first layer of earth or snow, whatever you see in this particular light brown part here, and then going on with the next tree, which is supposed to be a bit more in the foreground but not all the way there. And the next one is again the snowbank, the second one. And it's amazing to me how much depth you can create just by using different kinds of pattern papers, that you really could achieve the kind of looking into the distance, seeing other trees that are further away, that you can achieve that with just a couple of different pattern papers that you cut and glue layer upon layer. I'm amazed that this works out so fine. So I didn't expect it to have that much of depth. I thought I would have to work a lot more with ink to make shadows or whatnot, to create a scenery on this page, but in the end I only had to touch up a tiny bit. There wasn't hours and hours spent to ink the shadow sides or the backgrounds and to make things pop. It was very simple, really. For the ornament, I'm using a different kind of craft glue, a liquid one, because this is not paper, but this is cardboard that has this, well, I don't want to say plastic, but this kind of, plastic top. I don't know what you call it. It's kind of shiny. So I thought it wouldn't stay on the page with just a normal paper glue there. So I'm adding 2 rows of stars here that do, well, they don't have any meaning for the design, but they well, I didn't want to put them on the trees, for one, because I wanted it to be a quote-unquote natural scene. So, but I wanted something Christmassy or wintry there. Something, you know, like the gold and whatnot. So I thought I could use it to make, well, waves or something in the snow. So it's just very subtle lines in nature that are stars in my case. But you know, it's like the difference between the light brown and the dark brown parts of the snowbank. It's something like that, but a little less prominent. That's what the stars could be, or they could just be there because, you know, no reason. So I'm adding my sentiment tag, which is season's greetings to the ornament. First I wanted to write my sentiment there, but then I remembered that I had these funny sweet tags in my stock, and why not use them, right? I can do handwritten sentiment stuff on all the other pages that will be happening throughout the next year, so I don't have to have handwriting on this particular one. Again, since this is cardboard, I'm using liquid craft glue, which is just a bit stronger than the paper glue stick here. And then I'm using a golden glitter pen to draw the bow that holds the ornament in place. Excuse me. And I'm also decorating the light Christmas tree. So in real life, I'm more of the traditional Christmas tree person, so decorations there are gold and red and just normal clear lights, nothing more. With this particular tree here that I'm decorating right now with different kinds of glitter pens, I'm not only staying with red and gold, but this is the all kinds of colors, rainbow, twinkle lights on this Christmas tree, which I think is working for this particular page here, but in real life I wouldn't prefer this kind of tree decoration. But anyway, you can do things in your art journal that are so not what you do in real life, but you try out something, or you just have fun, or you become a giddy kid on your art journal page. And I like that art journals can do that for you, or the painting of anything, crafting of anything, any art related stuff. You can use that to do all the things you would not do in real life, or would not prefer in your real life. So this is a very colorful Christmas tree there. Sorry, Jesus Christ. What's up with the coughing? So this is pretty much all of the main things that I'm doing here. I will add a bit of silvery glitter to the 2 green trees. It could be lights, it could be maybe a bit of snow or ice that you have sitting on the tree. It could also just be the cones that are on the fir trees, you just see them in silvery light because the moonlight is hitting them or whatever. There's so many reasons why there could be a bit of silver on the green trees. Next up, I'm using a dark brown Copic marker with the brush tip to, well, give some parts a bit of a shadow and others just full on color them, like the trunks of the tree here. But I'm only defining the lines between the two snowbanks a bit more by adding a bit of a brown line there. It just enhances what is already there by the way I cut the pattern papers. But it's amazing how much a painting or a picture or a craft piece changes by just a couple of lines that suggest something. It's yeah, way more depth and it's just coming together. So with this silvery and gold glitter pen, I'm just going below the Christmas tree that is, or the fir tree that is in the foreground, and I'm only adding the date there, and that pretty much is the painting already. I hope you enjoyed watching along. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to see you tomorrow with the next art journal page. Goodbye.